Fox News Alert now. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy sending shockwaves through Washington, withdrawing from the race for House Speaker. Congressman Dave Brat is a member of the House Freedom Caucus. He also endorsed Congressman Webster from Florida for Speaker of the House. Congressman, great to have you on The Real Story. You had an upheaval of your own, so you have experience with this. When you beat Eric Cantor in the state of Virginia, a lot of people were surprised with that, but not your supporters. So what was going on in this case?
Well, I think it's a hard challenge. Someone's got to get to 218 votes. And so a lot of folks, the conference was moving in a great direction. John Boehner stepped down, and the entire Republican conference, there's all these stories on infighting and all that, but the conference was actually making great progress in getting to regular order and putting some rules in play to make it a kind of a bottom-up process where all members can bring bills to the floor and where there's no retribution and the finances are shared a little more evenly across members and those kind of things.
Okay.
And then this election was kind of sprung kind of early by the speaker, and so that brought an end to the process. So I think a lot of members wanted to get some promises on paper ahead of time, and kind of like the contract with America or the pledge to America, and that would be very helpful in helping a member get to 218.
It's interesting, Congressman, that you talk about that, because the person that you supported in the Freedom Caucus yesterday was Congressman Daniel Webster from Florida, and we just heard him a few moments ago say that that's exactly what he would plan to do, that he would spread out the power so that every member of the House felt powerful.
Right. Well, that's what I ran on. I ran on the Virginia Republican Creed. And I was a professor for 18 years, so I try to be consistent on principles. I ran on those principles myself, and that's why I put my vote behind Dan Webster. He ran the Florida House in a very fair way, process-driven way that had positive results. And so there's kind of these stories about this 30 or 40 of us who are challenging the conference, and that's a false narrative. Just last week, you can see the true numbers. 153 Republicans voted against the CR. That's the true number. Right.
All right. I want you to listen or hear from Paul Ryan now, because some people are saying maybe he'd be great for the job. Here's what he said. Kevin McCarthy is best person to lead the House, and so I'm disappointed in this decision. Now it is important that we as a conference take time to deliberate and seek new candidates for the speakership. Would you be behind trying to get Paul Ryan?
I don't want to get into any personality contest right now. I'd be behind any candidate who signs their name to the 10 principles that I sent out. They're on my Facebook. People can go check them. They're just American principles about fiscal sanity, following the rule of law, sharing power. And so if he's willing to sign that document and those process questions and policy questions, and I think he'd be in favor of most of them. And so I'm happy to support anyone. We're a nation of laws, not of men. And so what the country needs, right, you got 60% of the Republican electorate right now that's unhappy with our leadership. They want to see us solve real-world problems, right? We got debt we're throwing on the kids. They can't find jobs. We got Russia lobbing bombs on Syria. Our conference has to solve those problems. The American people don't see us getting this done and fighting against President Obama's executive overreach.
Okay.
If we can do that, we'll be in great shape.
Okay. Before I let you go, there was a letter that went out from your colleague, a Republican from North Carolina, Congressman Walter Jones, yesterday. And it went out to anyone who was seeking any kind of role as Speaker potentially. And he basically said that he wanted any candidate to drop out of the race if they had any skeletons in their closet and would potentially embarrass the Republican Party. Do you know anything about why he would have sent that letter out?
I'm not familiar with the letter. I haven't read it, and so ask some of the other guys who may know about that one.
Okay, I'm just putting it up on the screen here. Here's what he said. With all the voter distrust of Washington felt around the country, I'm asking that any candidate for Speaker of the House, Majority Leader, and Majority Whip withdraw himself from the leadership election if there are any misdeeds he has committed, etc. So it's interesting. I'm not sure exactly why he sent that out. We're trying to get to the bottom of all of that. In the meantime, Congressman Dave Brat, it's great to have you on The Real Story. I hope you come back. Thank you.
Thank you, Gretchen. Great to be with you.
Fox News Alert now. Presidential candidate Rand Paul, I believe, is joining us right now. Is that true? Okay. We're teasing that Rand Paul is coming up. A lot going on right now. In the meantime, about his take on McCarthy's shocking withdrawal for the race for House Speaker and whether or not there could be something brewing in the Senate as well. What does it mean?